in the question. And I'm going to use an example that actually just came up today to illustrate, so hopefully it'll help understand. I use a pendulum when I have questions that I sort of am just not quite sure about. And again, you can drive this pendulum any way you want to. You just have to get to a point where your intent is very honest and straightforward, and you'll get the right answer. So I embarked on a 72-hour fast, which will end around 6 p.m. tonight, this evening. I was already sort of planning my meal, really looking forward to it, and I asked the pendulum, does it serve me to have this meal? And I said, but at the 72 hours, not now, just I will have met the 72-hour requirement. And I don't mean that to say it that way, but it really is sort of a thing. It helps with the parasitic load in your body, so it's something we all should really be doing often, particularly people who have pets. So anyway, I'm doing this 72-hour not eating, just water and lots of tea. I'm drinking a lot of tea that I wouldn't normally drink, but I'm drinking all kinds of different tea, so it's been very good. And that ends at 6:30. I asked my pendulum, does it serve me? Of course it does. Because again, I've fulfilled the contract that I said I would fulfill. And then I was doing yoga, and it came to me that if I were to forego tonight, that would have meant that system would have had another in my body, quite honestly, because it is at night when our bodies, quote unquote, heal themselves. Yes, I'm just going to state it. Yes. Not that we can't, but the body itself is mechanisms. And so I'm asking this question of, should I go all the way through to tomorrow morning, meaning I have 3 full nights of my system at rest, versus, cutting it short and satisfying, sort of the human side. Now that's why I got the positive on, does it serve me to eat? Of course it does. Done a great job. If you want to really ask a different question, does it serve me to go without? Does that make sense? Because that's the one that requires work, quote unquote work, right? That's the one that's sort of withholding. Now, are you purposely withholding? No. You're following your higher self with an answer to the question that you asked. So be careful of the question that you ask. Make it the tough one. That way you'll know that you're not just satisfying, and yes, it's appropriate to move on. I don't know how to quite state that, but it now becomes more of a growing thing versus just a knowing thing. That's the best way to state it. So suffice it to say, I am going to go through till tomorrow morning, as I sort of had originally planned, and as I closed in, I negotiated a bit with myself. But at the end, which was really, it was an awesome human thing to do, because I was negotiating with myself. I said, well, I'm going to do these things and not just be still, but I have things I need to do, and I said I could do them even without, eating. I'm into whatever burning mode I am at that point. Hopefully it's not too much, too much better. There's not much of anything to go after. So, but it's something that I decided to do, and if you don't think it's spiritual, I would say probably, I don't think you're looking at it right. Going without food takes a mindset, and I think it's a great space to come from, to put yourself in, and to be dedicated to the process of, what it does for your physical being, what it does for your spiritual being, right? Your spirit sees you open up. And of course the mental being, the human side, gets a little bit of what it wants. So it feels satisfied. Just not like a crying, 2-year-old that is okay with what's gone on, and so supports it. So that's my quick video on, it's in the question, ask the hard question. Am I in the right relationship? Not, is it okay for me to be? Of course it is. You made it that way. You'll always get that answer that you want. So always ask the tough questions. They're going to play out no matter what. So the sooner, and I'm not talking about everybody just jumping off and just doing, that's not it. You have to be very mindful. But if you're in any situation, you're in a house, you're in a relationship, you're in a bad relationship with drugs or alcohol, you're in a bad relationship from a over-sexed standpoint, you're in a bad place where you only see dark, no,